This is Misha. Misha goes to the very same coffee shop at the very same time every day. This is Emily. It had become routine for Misha to have full intentions of asking her out, but he could never sum up the courage. This time, before he could even open his mouth, seeing her distressed, he asked her to sit down. But as he started to explain, he discovered that he may be more involved with her misfortune than he thought. She had just been denied an exchange by the office that he works at. How could fate be so cruel that he was the cause of her unhappiness? All he could hope was that she would never find out. He wondered if in the end it wouldn't matter. But it did. Eventually guilt consumed him, and their relationship was at a standstill. Until exactly 2 years later, as fate would have it, they returned to the coffee shop. The same thing that had brought them together in the beginning would bring them together again. But what would have happened had he had the courage he needed? Misha was tired of his mother telling him daily that he was going nowhere with his life. Harnessing that feeling, he found the courage he needed to ask Emily to sit down. But it didn't turn out as planned. From her distress, he found out she was upset about the exchange. A day earlier, in a moment of panic of seeing her name at the top of one of the papers, he denied her, knowing that her going away would severely hurt his chances. He knew it was time to ask her out on a real date. He couldn't waste the opportunity he had created. He knew telling her what he had done would be difficult, but he also knew it was the right thing to do. But Emily was not as understanding as he thought she would be. She couldn't see what he had done for her. In fact, she was furious and would not even speak a word to him for the 2 years that followed, no matter what he did. Misha came up with a plan. He would be the one to offer the exchange and ask her to meet him at the cafe for an interview. He convinced her somehow to sit down, and once again the place they had met brought them together again. But who's to say that forcing her to stay was the right decision? This time, Misha could tell something was different. Misha was eager to see her and was expecting his usual coffee. But Emily would not be serving him today. Misha, recognizing Emily's name, remembered that if you love someone, you must let them go. As he saw her leaving, he wondered if he had made the right choice. The following 2 years, there was an emptiness in both their lives that neither of them could explain. But you can't dodge fate. On that same day, Emily decided to return to the coffee shop where she once felt whole. Misha sat at the same table that he always sat, the one that would once again bring them together. What would you do if you had one day that could change everything? What decision would you make? Which people would you connect with? What lifelines would you hang on to?